Hi, welcome to day 8 of our 30-day yoga journey inwards. Today we center. We're going to connect with our core, activate it a little bit, and we're going to really do some nice grounding poses to connect in and find ourselves on steady ground so we can center. So we're going to begin today standing at the tops of our mats. And we're just going to take our feet hips distance apart and really just allow them to ground down into the mat. We're going to lift our toes up off the mat and just starting with the pinky toe, ground them down into the mat one toe at a time. Then beginning to lift up through the legs, gently tilt the tailbone under towards the front of the mat and lift the shoulders up and down away from the ears. Palms are going to come down beside you, facing the front of the mat. And then from here, just closing down your eyes and taking a couple of rounds of breath. Imagining as if you have got some roots coming out of your feet into the ground beneath you, keeping you nice and stable into the mat. On your next inhale, we're going to reach your arms up overhead, and exhale, folding forward from the hips, over the legs, coming down into a forward fold. Breathing here. And you might like to take opposite elbows here and sway a little side to side. And then coming back to the center before placing the hands on the mat and stepping back into a plank pose. Now in plank, we're going to be really nice and long through the body, from the crown of the head out the heels of the feet. Grounding down into those hands, but lifting up and away, turning that core on. Now at any point in time, if you want to come down to your knees, that is an option for you. So just listening to your body. From here, we're all going to come down onto our knees and then coming forward slightly with the chest, keeping those elbows into the sides of the body and lowering down halfway for chaturanga before pushing through and opening up through the chest in cobra, tucking the toes and exhaling, lifting the hips for down dog. Breathing here in your down dog. Now again, imagining those roots in the feet, grounding you down into the mat, holding you firm. Now bend the knees, look between the hands and step forward. Planting down through those feet. Inhale, lift up halfway, long through the spine. And exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching the arms up overhead, and exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Find that half lift as you inhale, then plant your hands and step back to plank. Now you can come down onto your knees or come through your chaturanga from here. Push through for cobra. And then tuck the toes and exhale back to down dog. Allowing the breath to center you into each pose. Bend the knees, look between the hands and step forward. Find your half lift long through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs and lifting up as you inhale. Hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up and exhale, fold forward over the legs. Half lift as you inhale. Plant the hands and step back through plank. Lower down through chaturanga. Inhale through cobra. Exhale, down dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands, step forward. Half lift. Fold over the legs as you exhale. Inhale, reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Half lift as you inhale. Plant the hands, step back through plank. Come through your chaturanga. Lifting up for cobra. Exhale, down dog. Look between the hands, step forward. Find your half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down through the feet, reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pause here. Find that stable foundation. Find yourself. Center here on your mat. Becoming nice and steady. As you inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Find your half lift, and then plant the hands and step back through plank. Come through your chaturanga, into cobra, back to down dog. Right leg lifts as you inhale, three-legged dog. And then as you exhale, bringing the knee towards the nose, pausing here before stepping that foot between the hands. Lower that back heel, taking the arch and intersecting it with that front leg. And then from here, we're going to open up to warrior two. Breathe in here. Gaze is coming out over that front middle finger. Then taking that right elbow to the right knee, reaching the left arm overhead. Now you can stay here if here feels good for you today. If you want to go a little deeper, you might bring that right fingertips to the mat. Breathe in here. If you want to go a little deeper still, you might take that left arm, bring it behind your back, and clasp the hands underneath that right leg, underneath the thigh, for a bind. Breathe in here. Releasing the hands, lifting back up through your warrior two. Before taking that left arm, hand down the back of the left leg and reaching the right arm overhead. Keeping that bend in that front knee here. Reverse warrior. Lifting up on an inhale, circling the arms down to the mat and stepping back through plank. Come through your chaturanga, into cobra and back to down dog. Left leg lifts as you inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the nose, holding here a moment. Stepping that left foot between the hands, dropping that back heel. So your left heel is intersecting the arch of the right foot, and then lifting up and opening up for warrior two. Grounding down into those feet. Find yourself centered here. We don't want to be reaching a little forward or a little back, but we want to be really stable over our hips, long through the spine, looking over that left fingertips. Now leaning forward, taking that left arm to the left knee, right arm reaches overhead. Now if here feels good, stay here. If you want to take the fingertips of that left hand to the mat, that is an option. Option to go further still by taking that right arm behind the back, left arm under that left thigh, and taking a bind. Releasing the hands, coming back through your warrior two. And then taking that right arm down the right leg, reverse your warrior. Lifting up on an inhale, coming through that warrior two, and then circling the arms to the mat and stepping back through plank. Lower down through your chaturanga. Inhale through cobra. Exhale, down dog. Pausing to breathe here. At any point in time, as always, option to come to child's pose at any point if you need a little rest. Bend the knees up between the hands and step forward. Find your half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet. Reaching the arms overhead as you inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift as you inhale. Then plant the hands and step back through plank. Come through your chaturanga, into cobra, back to down dog. Right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it between the hands, drop that left heel. Open up for warrior two. Right arm, right knee. Left arm overhead. Coming to whichever posture here feels good for you. Either fingertips to the mat, keeping that arm on the knee, or taking your bind. Releasing the hands, lifting back up through warrior two, reversing the warrior. Straighten through that front leg for reverse triangle. Then lifting up, sending the hips to the back of the mat, reaching those arms forward before dropping that right arm to the right ankle and opening up for triangle pose. Coming up through center on an inhale. Coming up to the toes of that back foot for high lunge. Bending into that front knee here. Now bringing the hands in front of the chest, and we're just going to step that foot forward, that back foot forward a little bit. So we're bringing our hips in line with the short side of our mats. Toes are pointing towards the left corner of the mat, the back toes, and towards the short side of the mat. We're going to take our hands behind us, and you can either come to prayer hands at your back, you can bring your fists together, palms together, whatever feels good for you. Opening up through the chest, and exhale, folding forward from the hips with a long spine over the legs for pyramid pose. Breathe in here. Lifting up through the center, stepping that left foot back, high lunge, before taking your hands to the mat, stepping back through plank, coming down in chaturanga, inhale through cobra, exhale down dog. Left leg lifts, step it, bringing the knee to the nose, step the foot between the hands, drop that back foot, warrior two. Front elbow, front knee. Staying here or fingertips to the mat, or take your bind. Coming back through your warrior two, reverse your warrior. Straighten through that front leg, reverse triangle. Lifting up through center, sending the hips to the back of the mat, reaching those arms forward. Left hand comes down towards the left ankle. Breathe in here. Coming back through center. Bending into that front knee, coming onto the toes of that back foot in high lunge. Find your center here. Find your groundedness. Before bringing the hands to the heart center and stepping that back foot forward a couple of feet. Turning the hips to the front side of the mat. Back toes pointing to the right hand corner of the top of your mat. Front toes pointing towards the short side of the mat. Hands coming behind you, either in fists or in prayer position behind the back of the shoulders. Open up through the chest and fold over that front leg. Breathe in here in pyramid. Lifting up on an inhale, stepping those back toes back, coming back through your high lunge. Before planting the hands on the mat and stepping back through plank. Lowering down halfway in chaturanga, lifting up through cobra. Exhale back to down dog. Bend the knees up between the hands and step forward. Find your half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now fixing your gaze, finding a spot to focus on, and we're going to ground down into that left leg. Again, imagine there are roots going from your feet down into the ground, and then beginning to lift that right leg up, bringing the knee out in front of you. Now from here we're going to take our right ankle with our right hand and we're going to bring it along the left leg. So wherever feels good for you, you can bring your toes to the mat here by your ankle. You can bring it up to your thigh or you can bring it up into your groin. Right foot goes into the left leg, opening up for tree pose, fixing your gaze. Activating your center. Breathe in here. And releasing that sole of the foot off the leg and bringing the right foot to the mat. So this time, fix your gaze. Ground down into the right leg. Imagine those roots going down into the mat. Lifting the left leg up. And then taking the left hand along the left ankle and bringing that foot wherever feels good. So along by your ankle here on your tippy toes, you can come to your calf, to your thigh, or bringing that leg right up into the groin area. Fixing your gaze, bringing the palms together in front of the heart. And breathe in here. Find that stability. Then releasing the foot. And lowering it to the mat. Stepping the feet as wide as the mat, and we're going to come down into Malasana here. So taking a bend through the knees, bringing those knees out over the toes and coming down wherever feels good for you. So if it's here, that's fine. If you want to come down a little deeper, option to do so. Elbows are coming into our knees, lengthening up through the spine. Tailbone is heading towards the mat. And then from here we're going to take our hands down behind us and come back to sit on our bottoms. Coming to the center of your mat, and we're just going to come into boat pose here. So gently rocking back a little bit and then lifting the right leg up and then the left leg. Breathe in here. Hands can be behind the knees. If you want to take this a little further today and really activate the core, you might take your arms alongside the legs. Open up through the chest here. Can you open a little bit more? Core is engaged. Finding that center, turning that center on. And then taking the hands behind the knees and releasing the feet down. Taking your hands and just wrapping them around the legs for a moment. Pausing here. Taking a rest. And then coming back up. Leaning back ever so slightly. Right leg, left leg. Releasing the right hand, left hand. Can you see if you can do this for just a second? Release the hands for a second and then just take them back behind the knees. Just breathing, playing, trying a little bit. Seeing where you can go to. Where is your edge? For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the feet to the mat. Hands come out in front of you and slowly lowering down onto the mat. Breathing here. And bringing the knees into the chest. Rocking a little side to side. Before bringing those knees into the underarms, sending the feet up towards the mat and taking the pinky toe side of the feet with the hands, allowing those knees to drop in towards you. Again, you can stay in stillness here, or you might like to take a little rock side to side. Whatever feels good. And you can stay here, or you might like to play with straightening one leg and then bending it back in, straightening the other leg, bending it back in. One leg and the other leg. And then releasing the legs, bringing the knees into the chest one more time and taking any final movements you feel you need here today. Before bringing the feet down to the mat, releasing the legs out long, allowing the feet to drop open and bringing the arms down alongside you, palms faced up for Shavasana. Letting go and just being here in this moment. Beginning to make some movements through the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. Stretching the arms overhead before bending the knees and rolling to the right side. Pausing for a moment of gratitude. And then when you're ready, making your way up to sit. Bringing the hands together in front of the heart. Hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to the heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this centering practice where we really began to activate our core. If you did like this class, then please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this and continue along on the 30-day journey, then hit the subscribe button and hit notifications for if you want to see when the notifications drop. I'd really love to hear how you're getting on. We have made it to day 8. Let me know how you're enjoying the practices, what's come up for you. Give me some feedback in the comments. I'd love to hear all about it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.